But with the transfer portal, it's now open in college basketball. As soon as the regular season ends, transfer portal open. So we're already starting to see a ton of guys entering the transfer portal, including, for example, Virginia Tech guard Jaden Young, who's actually from the state of North Carolina, entering in the transfer portal. Averaged about 8 points a game this past year. You've seen another guy, for example, Wyoming guard, 6'3" senior, Obi Agbim, 17.6 points per game into the portal. My favorite name in the transfer portal, Victoria, the Missouri Valley Conference Rookie of the Year, who averaged 15.5 points per game this season, All Right.
Oh, perfect.
His last name is Wright, Wright,
Right.
and his first name is All.
All.
A-L-L.
Interesting.
All Right.
I have never heard someone's first name be All.
He's from Valparaiso. Again, Missouri Valley Conference, but All Right. I'm like, well.
Everything's all right.
It's okay. But again, we're starting to see these guys go into the transfer portal, and obviously we know that schools in this area have been active in the transfer portal in some way, shape, or form. NC State, heavy in the transfer portal under Kevin Keatts. I have no doubt this upcoming year with a new coach coming in, you're going to be heavy in the transfer portal once again. We have seen John Shire at Duke supplement his roster with the young stud freshman that he brings in, and obviously a couple guys that have stuck around with Caleb Foster and Tyrese Proctor, supplementing his roster with experienced players through the transfer portal who've all contributed in some way, shape, or form. North Carolina, similar type deal. Young recruited players on your roster, some that are young, like Drake Powell, Ian Jackson, Elliot Cadeau being a sophomore, and some older players like R.J. Davis, Seth Trimble, Jalen Washington. All those guys are juniors or older. But then also supplementing the roster with Jalen Withers, who is a transfer with his second year of the team. Van Allen Lubin, first year with the program as a transfer. But the transfer portal now being open, I really am wondering if there is a player eventually in the NCAA tournament who might be the seventh guy on the bench that just wants another opportunity somewhere else. Maybe they go from a power conference school to a mid-major just because they want to have that more playing opportunity. But they want to make sure that they get an opportunity in the transfer portal as soon as possible because they know that coaches are going to be starting to recruit players and pull players from the transfer portal as soon as they can. They don't want to have an opportunity missed. So they go into the transfer portal as soon as the regular season ends. Well, how does that impact what you're going to do on the court? Does that player no longer play? Again, we saw it in the college football playoff. Again, timing of that is a little bit different because of how semesters end in the fall and all those kinds of things. We saw players in the college football playoff not participate because they wanted to go into the transfer portal. They're trying to land spots at other schools and get their transcripts and do all the things that they got to do. So they didn't even participate. For example, Penn State's backup quarterback, whose name all of a sudden I cannot remember, but their backup quarterback at Penn State was used in running situations. Hey, brought in as a running quarterback and was actually used on the field during games consistently throughout the year. But he wanted a different opportunity, goes to the transfer portal, doesn't even play in the college football playoff. I'm wondering eventually if we're going to see that in the NCAA tournament. I'm wondering if we eventually will get there. And I think this is something that the NCAA needs to take a look at now and say, you know what, transfer portal for athletes at this time of year, for college basketball, winter sports. The national championship game, the Final Four is April 4th. The championship game is the 6th. So it's that weekend. It's the first weekend in April. Make April 1st. Make April 1 the transfer portal opening. Because for men's basketball, and really for women's basketball, only 4 schools are playing at the time.
Yes.
Just 4. So pretty much everyone's already done. You're already going to have an idea of who's going to be leaving and who's not as a coach. Officially open the portal then.
No fooling around.
Exactly. You know what? Make that the case now. Because I can guarantee you right now, Jay Lucas at Miami is looking at every single one of these players in the transfer portal, and is starting to pick guys and call guys right now because he knows already what is going to be on his roster at Miami. He knows that. Jay Lucas being the former Duke assistant coach. My point is this. There are ways that college sports can help itself. I have no problem with transfer portal. I have no problem with players wanting to move and go to better situations that they think is best for themselves. No issue with that at all. But that doesn't mean the process can't be better for everyone. Because if you make it April 1, well, you still have another month of school. So players are still able to finish out their semesters, do their finals, enroll at whatever school that they got to go to. You have the whole summer to get ready for the new year. Why does it have to open immediately after the season ends? I think it does a disservice to players because there might be players that are considering the transfer portal but maybe aren't entirely sure, and they might be forced into making a decision too quickly that they're maybe not ready to do. Make it April 1st. Simple solution. We brought up a problem, Victoria, and we offered a solution. April 1st.
There you go.
Done. And I think coaches overall would be okay with that because, again, you're down to 4 playing at the time. That's it. You're down to 4. And those coaches probably are already going to have an idea of what they're going to need to do recruiting-wise. They're not losing a whole lot. Make it April 1st. We avoid so much. So much.
No joking around.
Exactly.
April Fool's Day.
Yeah, right? No,
See?
I see what you did there. You know what? By the way, April 1st is the anniversary of the announcement of Roy Williams leaving North Carolina.
Right.
Retiring.
Right.
Which, by the way, I was sitting in the exact chair that you are sitting right now when that news came across. We're like, okay, guys.
Okay, got
good
it.
joke.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, we're getting the emails. Yeah, presser.
Oh, no, for real.
What?
What? You're being serious?
April 1st means something a little bit different for me.
Yeah.
It forever will just be like,
yeah,
April 1st. Oh, Roy's retiring.
Oh, yeah, that day.
Good one, guys.
Uh-huh. Not kidding me.
Oh, no, this is real.
Yeah.
I think everyone was super skeptical, like, all right, guys. Good one. Mm-hmm. But anyway, we offered a solution. Because I would hate to see, for example, I'm using this 100% as an example. But let's say there's a sophomore at North Carolina. Let's say I'll use Elliot Cadeau for an example. And again, only using this as an example. Maybe he's expecting, hey, there's other guys coming in. Maybe he wants a different opportunity, a different change of scenery, whatever it is he wants. And he's a sophomore. Like, is he going to have to be essentially forced to enter the transfer portal now? Even though his team's still playing? I think it's kind of unfair to both him and his team. Offering solutions, Victoria.